Hello there. You're exhausted, aren't you? Not just physically tired, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually exhausted. Carrying so much, for so long, without rest, without relief, without putting anything down. You're carrying responsibilities that feel endless, worries that never stop, problems that aren't even yours, expectations from everyone, the weight of everything that needs to be done, everything that could go wrong, everything you're trying to manage. And you're carrying it all the time, every day, every hour. Even in your sleep, your mind is still holding it all, still managing, still worrying, still carrying. Your shoulders are probably tight right now. Your jaw is probably clenched. Your whole body is probably tense from the weight of everything you're holding. And maybe you think you have to carry it all, that if you put anything down, everything will fall apart, that you're the only one who can hold it, that letting go means failing. But you're breaking under the weight. You're collapsing under the load. You can't keep carrying everything forever. Take a breath with me. Just one breath. And as you exhale, imagine setting down just a little bit of what you're carrying. Just for this moment. Just for this breath. You don't have to hold it all right now. Let your shoulders drop. Let your body soften. Let yourself feel how heavy this load has become. Tonight, we're going to talk about chronic stress, about mental load, about carrying too much for too long, and most importantly, about setting some of it down. Because you can't keep living like this. You can't keep carrying everything. You can't sustain this level of stress forever. Something has to change. Something has to be set down. And I know that feels impossible. I know it feels like everything is essential. Like you can't put anything down. Like it all depends on you. But that's not true. That's the stress talking. That's the overwhelm convincing you that you're trapped, that you have no choice, that you have to keep carrying everything. But you do have choices. You can set things down. You can ask for help. You can stop carrying what isn't yours. You can reduce the load. Not all at once, not perfectly, but gradually, intentionally, piece by piece. So, tonight, let's explore what you're carrying. What's actually yours, what you can set down, what you've been holding that you don't need to hold anymore. Because you're carrying too much. Way too much. And it's time to set some of it down. Not because you're weak, not because you're failing, but because you're human. And humans have limits. And you've exceeded yours. So let's find what can be set down, what can be shared, what can be released. You don't have to carry everything. You really don't. You know what chronic stress does to you? It changes everything. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your relationships, your health, everything. Your body stays in fight or flight mode, constantly. Your stress hormones are always elevated. Your muscles are always tense. Your heart rate is always elevated. Your digestion is disrupted. Your sleep is affected. Your immune system is suppressed. That's what chronic stress does physically. It's not just feeling stressed. It's your body being in a constant state of emergency, constantly preparing for threat, constantly activated, never resting, never recovering. And that's unsustainable. That's damaging. That's why you feel so terrible all the time. Not just mentally stressed, but physically deteriorated by the constant stress response. Your mind is affected too. You can't focus. You forget things. You make decisions poorly. You can't think clearly because your brain is overwhelmed, overloaded, running on stress hormones instead of functioning normally. Your emotions are dysregulated. You're irritable. You're anxious. You're easily overwhelmed. You cry easily or can't cry at all. You're numb or overly reactive because chronic stress affects emotional regulation. Your relationships suffer. You're short with people. You're unavailable. You're too exhausted to connect. You have nothing left to give because the stress has consumed all your resources. This is what carrying too much does. This is the cost of chronic stress. This is what happens when you've been holding too much for too long. And you can't fix this by managing stress better. You can't meditation your way out of an objectively overwhelming situation. You can't deep breathe your way through carrying too much. The solution isn't better stress management. The solution is reducing the actual load, setting things down, carrying less. Not because you're weak, but because the load is too heavy. Think about it this way. If someone is carrying 200 pounds and they're collapsing, the solution isn't teaching them better carrying techniques. The solution is reducing the weight, taking some of it away, making the load manageable. That's what you need. Not better stress management, but actual load reduction. Less to carry. Fewer responsibilities. Fewer worries. Fewer demands. Less weight. So what are you carrying? What's in your load? What are all the things you're mentally and emotionally holding? Work responsibilities, family responsibilities, financial worries, health concerns, relationship management, household management, everyone else's emotions, everyone else's problems, future anxieties, past regrets, current demands, everything that needs to be done, everything that could go wrong, everything you're trying to manage or control or fix. That's a lot. That's too much. That's more than any human should be carrying alone. So which of these are actually yours? Which do you actually need to carry? Which are you holding that aren't your responsibility? Which can be shared? Which can be delegated? Which can be set down? Because not everything in your load is actually yours. Not everything you're carrying is your responsibility. Some of it you've picked up that you shouldn't have. Some of it others should be carrying. Some of it no one needs to carry. So let's figure out what's actually yours, what you can set down, what you can delegate, what you can release. Because you can't carry everything, and you don't have to. Let's talk about mental load, because that's part of what's exhausting you. It's not just the tasks, it's the constant mental management of everything. Mental load is remembering everything, planning everything, anticipating everything, coordinating everything, managing everything, all in your head, all the time. It's remembering everyone's schedules, everyone's needs, everyone's appointments, everything that needs to be done, everything that's coming up, everything that might be forgotten if you don't remember it. It's planning meals, planning schedules, planning for problems, planning for needs. Always thinking ahead, always anticipating, always managing. It's being the one who notices what needs to be done, who thinks about what's needed, who coordinates everything, who makes sure nothing falls through the cracks. Because if you don't, who will? And that's exhausting. More exhausting than the actual tasks sometimes. Because it never stops. Even when you're not doing anything, you're still managing everything mentally. Still remembering, still planning, still anticipating. Your brain never rests. Even when your body is still, your mind is working, managing, coordinating, remembering, planning. Always carrying the mental load. And often this load is invisible. Other people don't see it. They see the tasks you do, but they don't see the mental work behind those tasks. The remembering, the planning, the anticipating, the coordinating. So they don't understand why you're so exhausted. They think, you didn't do that much today. But they don't see the mental load, the constant management, the endless thinking and planning and remembering. That's invisible labor, mental labor, emotional labor. And it's exhausting. More exhausting than visible tasks because it never stops. So what mental load are you carrying? What are you constantly managing in your head? What are you always remembering, always planning, always anticipating? And here's the important question. Does it all need to be in your head? Can some of this mental load be shared? Can some of it be externalized? Can some of it be released? Maybe you're remembering things that could be written down. Maybe you're planning things that could be delegated. Maybe you're anticipating problems that may never happen. Maybe you're managing things that others could manage themselves. So how do you reduce mental load? First, externalize it. Write things down. Use calendars. Use lists. Use systems. Get it out of your head. Stop trying to remember everything mentally. Second, delegate. If you're managing other people's responsibilities, stop. They can manage their own. If you're remembering everyone's needs, stop. They can remember their own. Stop being the central coordinator for everything. Third, let some things go. Not everything needs to be managed. Not everything needs to be anticipated. Not every problem needs to be prevented. Some things can just happen. Some problems can be solved when they arise. Not everything needs your constant mental management. Fourth, communicate. Tell people what you're carrying mentally. Make the invisible visible. I'm managing all of this in my head and it's exhausting. I need help. Ask for others to take on some of the mental load, not just the tasks. You don't have to carry all the mental load. You don't have to be the one who remembers everything, plans everything, manages everything. That can be shared. That should be shared. So start reducing it. Externalize. Delegate. Let go. Communicate. Get some of that mental load out of your head and into shared space. You'll be amazed how much lighter you feel when you're not mentally managing everything constantly. Here's something important about boundaries and carrying too much. Often you're carrying things that aren't actually yours because you don't have good boundaries. You're carrying other people's emotions, other people's problems, other people's responsibilities. Not because you have to, but because you haven't set boundaries around what's yours and what's not. Someone has a problem, you take it on. You try to solve it. You carry the worry about it, even though it's their problem, their responsibility, their situation to manage. Someone is upset, you take on their emotions. You try to make them feel better. You carry their emotional state, even though their emotions are their responsibility, not yours. Someone needs something done, you do it, even if it's their responsibility, even if they should do it themselves, even if saying yes means you're overloaded. You say yes anyway. That's carrying what isn't yours, taking on what you shouldn't, crossing boundaries by taking responsibility for things that aren't your responsibility. And that's a huge part of why you're overloaded. Because you're not just carrying your own responsibilities, you're carrying everyone else's too. All because you don't have clear boundaries. So what are boundaries? Boundaries are knowing where you end and others begin. What's your responsibility and what's theirs? What you're willing to carry and what you're not. Good boundaries sound like, "That's not my problem to solve. That's not my emotion to manage. That's not my responsibility to handle." Not meanly, not cruelly, but clearly. This is yours. That is theirs. These are the limits. But you probably struggle with boundaries. You probably feel guilty setting them. You probably think saying no makes you selfish or mean. You probably believe you should help with everything, carry everything, be available for everything. And that belief, that lack of boundaries, that's why you're overloaded. That's why you're carrying too much. Because you're carrying everything, not just what's actually yours. So you need boundaries. Real boundaries. Clear boundaries. Boundaries that protect your energy and your capacity and your well-being. "I can't take that on." That's a boundary. That's your responsibility, not mine. That's a boundary. "I don't have capacity for that." That's a boundary. "I need to focus on my own priorities." That's a boundary. And yes, people might not like it. They're used to you saying yes. They're used to you carrying their things. They're used to having no limits with you. So boundaries will disrupt that. They'll push back. They'll be uncomfortable. But their discomfort doesn't mean you shouldn't set boundaries. It means boundaries are necessary. Because they've been taking too much. Because you've been giving too much. Because the dynamic has been unhealthy. So set boundaries, without apology, without guilt, without backing down when people push back. This is what I can do. This is what I can't. These are my limits. And then enforce them. When people try to push past your boundaries, hold firm. "No, I said I can't do that." When people try to make you feel guilty, don't cave. "I understand you're disappointed, but this is my limit." Boundaries aren't mean. They're necessary. They're how you stop carrying what isn't yours. They're how you reduce the load to something manageable. They're how you protect yourself from overload. So start setting them. "That's not mine to carry. I can't take that on." You need to handle that yourself. Clear, firm, without apology. That's how you stop carrying too much, by setting boundaries around what's actually yours and refusing to carry what isn't. Now let's talk about the things you're carrying from the past. The regrets, the guilt, the shame, the resentments, the hurts, the what-ifs, the should-haves. You're not just carrying present responsibilities. You're also carrying past pain, past mistakes, past experiences. And that weight, added to everything else, it's crushing you. You're carrying guilt about things you did or didn't do, mistakes you made, choices you regret, ways you hurt people, ways you failed. And that guilt is heavy. It's weighing you down. It's part of the chronic stress. You're carrying shame about who you are or who you've been. Things about yourself you don't accept. Parts of your past you're ashamed of. Ways you feel you don't measure up. And that shame is exhausting. It's a constant weight. You're carrying resentment about how you've been treated. Hurts that haven't healed. Wrongs that haven't been resolved. People who hurt you and never apologized. And that resentment is corrosive. It's eating at you while you carry it. You're carrying regret about paths not taken, opportunities missed, choices you wish you'd made differently. And that regret is painful. It's a constant what if that you carry everywhere. All of this past weight, it's adding to your current stress. It's part of why you feel so heavy, so burdened, so overwhelmed. Because you're not just carrying present responsibilities, you're carrying past pain too. And here's the thing, you can set this down. You can release past weight. You don't have to carry it forever. It's not serving you. It's not helping. It's just making everything heavier. So what past weight are you carrying? What guilt? What shame? What resentment? What regret? What old pain are you still holding that you could release? Releasing doesn't mean it didn't matter. Doesn't mean it wasn't real. Doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It just means you're choosing to stop carrying it. Choosing to let it be in the past instead of carrying it into your present and future. How do you release past weight? Through forgiveness of yourself and others. Through acceptance of what happened and who you were. Through grieving for what you lost or didn't get. Through letting go of the need to change the past or control what happened. It's not easy, it's not quick, but it's possible. You can set down guilt through self-forgiveness. I made a mistake. I was doing my best with what I knew then. I forgive myself. You can set down shame through self-acceptance. That's part of my story. It doesn't define me. I accept all of who I've been and who I am. You can set down resentment through releasing others. Not because they deserve it, but because carrying resentment hurts you more than them. What they did was wrong. I release them from my daily thoughts. I refuse to let them occupy space in my present. You can set down regret through acceptance. I made the choice I made. I can't change it. I accept it and move forward from here. That's how you release past weight. Not by denying it, but by consciously choosing to set it down, to stop carrying it, to let it be in the past where it belongs. You don't have to carry past pain into every moment of your life. You can acknowledge it, learn from it, and then set it down. Leave it behind. Move forward lighter. Here's something about carrying future weight. about worrying about things that haven't happened, about carrying anxiety about the future as if it's a present reality. You're not just carrying present responsibilities and past pain. You're also carrying future worries, things that might happen, problems that could arise, disasters you're trying to prevent. You're carrying worry about financial future. Will there be enough money? What if something expensive happens? What if income decreases? You're carrying that worry now, even though the future hasn't happened. You're carrying worry about health. What if you get sick? What if something's wrong? What if something happens to someone you love? You're carrying that worry constantly, even though it's about potential futures, not present reality. You're carrying worry about everything that could go wrong, in every area, all the time. What if this happens? What if that fails? What if the worst case occurs? You're living in constant anticipation of disaster, and that's exhausting. That's adding massive weight to your load. Because you're carrying not just what is, but what might be. Not just present reality, but imagined futures. And here's the truth. Most of what you worry about never happens. Most of the disasters you're preparing for never occur. Most of the problems you're trying to prevent never materialize. So you're carrying weight for nothing, exhausting yourself worrying about things that won't happen, creating stress about futures that won't come to pass. And even for things that do happen, worrying about them in advance doesn't help. It doesn't prevent them. It doesn't prepare you better. It just makes you suffer twice. Once in anticipation, once when it actually happens. So what future weight are you carrying? What are you constantly worrying about? What potential disasters are you preparing for? What might happens are you treating as will happens? And here's what you need to do. Set down future weight. Stop carrying what hasn't happened. Stop worrying about maybes and what ifs. Come back to present reality. In this moment, right now, are you okay? Is the disaster happening right now? Or are you okay right now and just worried about a potential future? Probably you're okay right now. The disaster isn't happening now. It's just a potential future you're worrying about. So come back to now, where you're actually okay. You can't prevent future problems by worrying about them now. You can't control what hasn't happened yet. You can only handle what's actually in front of you, what's actually real, what's actually present. So set down future worry. When you notice yourself carrying anxiety about what might happen, gently redirect. That's future thinking. That hasn't happened. Right now, I'm okay. I'll deal with that if and when it actually happens. Come back to now. Deal with what's actually present. Handle what's actually real. And trust that you'll handle future problems when they become present problems. If they become present problems. Stop carrying tomorrow's problems today. Stop worrying about next month's disasters now. Stop living in anxious futures instead of present reality. You have enough to carry in present reality. You don't need to add every possible future to your load. Set down the future worries. Come back to now. Handle what's actually here. That's how you reduce the load. By only carrying what's actually yours, actually real, actually present. Not past pain, not future worries, just present reality. And present reality, just what's actually here right now. That's usually more manageable than the full weight of past, present, and future that you've been carrying. Let me tell you what happens when you start setting things down. When you reduce the load, when you stop carrying everything, you start to breathe again. Really breathe. Deep breaths instead of shallow, stressed breathing. Because your body isn't constantly in fight or flight. Because the emergency has ended. You start to sleep better. Really sleep. Deep, restorative sleep. Because your mind isn't racing with everything you're carrying. Because you've set some of it down. You start to think more clearly, focus better, make better decisions. Because your brain isn't overloaded anymore. Because you've reduced the cognitive load. Because there's space for actual thinking instead of just stress management. You start to feel emotions normally again, not just stress and anxiety and overwhelm, but joy, peace, contentment. Because you have emotional capacity again. Because you're not using all your emotional energy just to manage stress. You start to be present in your life, with people, in activities, in moments. Because you're not constantly distracted by everything you're carrying. Because you've set some of it down and made space to actually be here. You start to have energy for things other than just survival. Energy for interests, for relationships, for activities you enjoy. Because you're not exhausted from carrying too much. Because you've made your load manageable. That's what becomes possible. That's what shifts. That's what happens when you stop carrying everything. Not immediately, not all at once, but gradually, as you reduce the load, as you set things down, as you stop carrying what isn't yours and what you don't need to carry. You reclaim your life, your energy, your capacity, your well-being, not by managing stress better, but by reducing what's creating the stress, by making the load manageable. And it's not about doing nothing. It's not about becoming irresponsible. It's about only carrying what's actually yours, what you actually need to carry, what's actually your responsibility. It's about having boundaries, delegating, asking for help, letting some things go, sharing the load, making it sustainable. That's what you're working toward, not carrying nothing, but carrying a manageable amount, a healthy amount, an amount that allows you to function and thrive, not just survive. That's possible. That's achievable. That's what you deserve. Not this crushing overwhelm, not this constant stress, not this unsustainable load, but a balanced life, where you carry your share, but not everyone else's too. Where you handle your responsibilities, but not at the cost of your health and well-being. Where you have capacity for your life, not just barely surviving under the weight of everything, but actually living with energy, with presence, with joy. That's what's waiting when you set things down, when you reduce the load, when you stop carrying too much. So start tonight. Start with one thing you can set down, one responsibility you can delegate, one worry you can release, one boundary you can set, and then another and another, gradually reducing the load, piece by piece, until it's manageable, until you can breathe, until you can live. That's your work. That's what you're moving toward. That's what's possible. A lighter load, a sustainable life, space to breathe and live and be. Tonight, as you lie here, under the weight of everything you're carrying, I want you to do something. I want you to consciously set some things down. Just for tonight, just while you rest. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine setting down your work responsibilities, just for these hours while you sleep. They'll be there tomorrow, but tonight you can set them down. You don't have to carry them right now. Breathe in. Breathe out. Set down other people's problems, their emotions, their needs, their situations. You don't have to solve them right now. You don't have to carry them tonight. They're not yours to carry while you sleep. Breathe in, breathe out. Set down the mental load, the planning, the remembering, the coordinating, the managing, all of it, just for tonight. It doesn't need to be in your head while you're trying to rest. Breathe in, breathe out. Set down the future worries. What might happen? What could go wrong? what you're anxious about. It's not happening right now. Right now, you're safe. You can release the future worries tonight. Breathe in, breathe out. Set down the past weight, the guilt, the regret, the resentment, the shame. You can pick it up tomorrow if you really want to. But tonight, set it down. Let yourself rest without carrying it. Breathe in, breathe out. Set down the expectations. What you think you should be doing. How you think you should be feeling. What you think you need to accomplish. Set down the shoulds. Just be here, without judgment. Breathe in, breathe out. Set down everything. All the weight, all the stress, all the responsibilities, all the worries, all the carrying. Set it all down, just for tonight, just while you rest. You don't have to carry everything right now. You don't have to hold it all together while you sleep. You can set it down. You can rest without the weight and feel the difference. Feel how much lighter you are without all that weight. Feel how your body can finally relax. Feel how your mind can finally quiet. Feel how your breath can finally deepen. This is what it feels like to not carry everything. This lightness, this ease, this rest. You deserve to feel this, not just tonight, but regularly, always. So practice setting things down. Tonight while you sleep, tomorrow when you wake. Regularly, consistently, choosing what to carry and what to set down. You don't have to carry everything. You really don't. You can set things down. You can carry less. You can be lighter. So set it down tonight. All of it. Everything you've been carrying. Just for these hours. Just while you rest. Let yourself be without the weight. Feel how good it feels. How light. How restful. How peaceful. Remember this feeling. This is what life can feel like when you're not carrying too much. This is what you're working toward. This lightness, this ease, this peace. Not just while you sleep, but in your waking life too. So set it down. Rest. Be light. Be free. You don't have to carry everything. Set it down. Let me tell you what you need to remember, what's important, what's true, because chronic stress makes you forget these things. You're human. Humans have limits. You have limits, and exceeding your limits doesn't make you strong. It makes you broken. Respecting your limits isn't weakness, it's wisdom. You can't do everything. You can't carry everything. You can't manage everything. You can't be everything to everyone. And that's not failure. That's reality. That's being human. You need help. You need support. You need rest. You need breaks. You need to set things down sometimes. And that's not weakness. That's self-preservation. That's survival. You're not responsible for everything. Not everything is yours to carry. Not every problem is yours to solve. Not every emotion is yours to manage. Some things are other people's responsibility. Let them have it. You're allowed to have limits, to say no, to not do things, to let things go, to prioritize yourself, to protect your energy and your well-being. You're allowed. You really are. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to prove you deserve breaks. You don't have to carry everything before you're allowed to set something down. You're human. That's reason enough. You matter. Your well-being matters. Your health matters. Your peace matters. Not just productivity, not just achievement, not just taking care of everyone else. You matter too. You matter just as much. And carrying too much, living in chronic stress, sacrificing your well-being for everything else, that's not noble. That's not admirable. That's not what you should be doing. It's destroying you, and you matter too much for that. So remember these things when stress makes you forget, when overwhelm makes you think you have to keep carrying everything, when guilt makes you think setting things down is selfish. You're human with limits. You can't do everything. You need help. You're not responsible for everything. You're allowed to have boundaries. You don't have to earn rest. You matter. Those truths. Remember them. Believe them. Live from them. Let them guide you as you reduce your load, as you set things down, as you create a sustainable life. You deserve a life that's not just constant overwhelm. You deserve to function, not just survive. You deserve capacity for joy, not just stress management. You deserve to breathe, to rest, to live. And that starts with remembering you matter. You have limits. You can set things down. You deserve a lighter load. So set it down. Reduce the load. Ask for help. Set boundaries. Let things go. Delegate. Share the weight. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Because you're human. Because you matter. Because you deserve to live, not just survive under crushing weight. Set it down. Carry less. Live lighter. You deserve that. You really do. You matter enough for that. Your well-being matters enough for that. So do it. Starting now. Starting tonight. Set some things down. Reduce the load. Choose yourself. Choose your well-being. Choose a lighter life. You've been carrying too much. It's time to set it down. So here we are, at the end of our time together tonight. And I hope something has shifted for you. I hope you see that you're carrying too much, that chronic stress isn't something to manage better, but something to reduce. That the load needs to actually decrease, not just be carried more efficiently. You've been carrying so much, for so long. Responsibilities, worries, other people's problems, mental load, past pain, future anxieties, everything, all the time, without rest. And it's breaking you. Not because you're weak, but because the load is too heavy. Because humans have limits. Because you've exceeded yours. Sleep tonight knowing you can set things down. You really can. You don't have to carry everything. Not everything is yours. Not everything needs to be held by you. Tomorrow, start reducing the load. Set boundaries. That's not mine to carry. Delegate responsibilities. You can handle that yourself. Ask for help. I need support with this. Release worries. I can't control that. Let things go. That doesn't need to be done. Start small with one thing, one boundary, one delegation, one release, and then another and another. Gradually making the load lighter, more manageable, sustainable. You deserve a life that's not constant overwhelm. You deserve to breathe, to rest, to have capacity for joy and presence and living, not just stress and survival. And that becomes possible when you reduce what you're carrying, when you set things down, when you create a manageable load, when you protect your capacity and your well-being. So start tonight by setting everything down while you sleep, by resting without the weight, by remembering what lightness feels like. And tomorrow, start making that lightness more permanent. Start reducing the actual load. Start setting things down in your waking life, too. You can do this. You can carry less. You can set boundaries. You can ask for help. You can create a sustainable life. Not by managing stress better, but by reducing what's creating the stress, by making the load actually lighter, by carrying only what's actually yours. That's your work. That's what you're moving toward. That's what's possible. A lighter load, a sustainable life, space to breathe and rest and live. You've been carrying too much, but you don't have to keep carrying everything. You can set things down. You can carry less. You can live lighter. Good night, dear friend. Set it down. All of it. Tonight, while you rest. Tomorrow in your choices. Ongoing in your life. You don't have to carry everything. You can set it down. You deserve to carry less. You deserve to breathe. You deserve to live, not just survive. So set it down. Reduce the load. Protect yourself. Choose your well-being. Create a lighter life. You've been carrying too much. It's time to set it down. Starting now. Starting tonight. Set it down. Rest. Breathe. Live lighter. You deserve that. You really do. Sweet dreams.